Hello, I'm James Cox, president of APACHE. I'm here with Todd Wilson from Familyman Ministries. And I want to thank you, Todd, for giving us a few minutes of your time to just tease us a little bit about how awesome the convention is going to be and how great your speaking is going to be. So tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I won't tell you about how great I am until a little bit later here, but you already told my name. My name's Todd. My family and I, we live here in northern Indiana, not too far away from you. I mean, as far as the rest of the country goes, we just kind of cut across Indiana into Illinois, and we're there in no time at all. But we've been doing this for a long time. I think we're getting close to 20 years of homeschooling and probably 18 years of running Familyman Ministries. For the last couple of years, we've been also running the Smiling Homeschooler. And we've traveled the country in a big RV that we call the Familyman Mobile, encouraging parents, especially homeschool parents, because homeschool parents need to be reminded of what's important. Even in the time we're at right now, you know, I know that sometimes we think, well, we should be doing more politically, or we should be doing on this side or that side or whatever. And I'm like, you know, what we do as moms and dads is the most important thing there is. In fact, your children are going to be more affected by what you do than what happens in the White House, good or bad, you know, and that's just the truth. And so what I like to do, you know, I just want to encourage parents in the stuff that matters.
Okay. Well, I understand that one of the sessions you're going to be doing at our convention is called The Gift. Would you like to give a little teaser to pique everybody's interest so they want to come to that class?
Well, you know, it's really fun. If you ever wanted to get an up close and personal with our family, but this is the one, because I'm going to talk a lot about my kids and, you know, just homeschool. I'm trying not to give away the farm here. But, you know, when you start homeschooling, you think it's all about what I'm going to teach my children. Really, what it became was what my children were going to teach us, because we learned so much during it. And, you know, sometimes we think of ourselves as being real noble for homeschooling our children. We think we've given up so many things, you know, we're doing what others, you know, can't. And really, it's none of those things. People will say, oh, it's a calling. It may be a calling, but it's even bigger than that. I really believe homeschooling is a gift. It is given to us not knowing at the time how important it is. You know, because really, most of us, if we hadn't homeschooled, you know, we'd have all this free time. I know the moms are drooling right now. You know, husbands, your wife would be happier more of the time. But if that were the case, we would have missed out on so much, because I think this gift, we've been forced to be together. We thought, again, that it was about teaching our kids, but it's so much bigger than that. So I'm really excited. It's a lot of fun. It's going to be just a great time. You're going to come away encouraged, because I kind of give you some perspective too, because, you know, we've been doing it long enough that we have some perspective. It's a good view from this side.
Okay. Well, I know a lot of your ministry is about encouraging dads to get involved, and especially being, you know, our wives' biggest cheerleader. Right. Tell us some ways that we can do that.
Well, I'll tell you right off the bat, you can bring your wife to the homeschool convention, to the APACHE Homeschool Convention. You know, and I know some dads listening. I'm going to assume there's some dads listening. Okay, I'll assume your wife drugged you in here and said, listen to this. You know, and I know, and I'll be honest with you, when someone says, hey, do you want to go to homeschool conference? We think, I'm busy. I am telling you, it's like going to Disney World for your wife, but to have you along is even better. So I would plan to be there with your wife. Make it a weekend getaway. You know, even if you only live down the road. You know, I know there's some hotel accommodations around the area. You know, plan to spend the night in a hotel for 2 nights. and you eat out during, for dinner, maybe go with some friends to dinner. And I don't think there's a better way that you can encourage your wife than sitting next to her and then afterwards, saying, so what'd you think about the speakers today? Or what did you see today? And she will tell you, because there are a lot of wives whose husbands don't even care. They don't care about what they learn. And if you want to encourage your wife, one of those things is you can just listen to her, because our wives just want us to listen to them. Not a distracted listening where we go, yeah, right, yeah, and they go, you're not really listening, are you? And you're like, you're thinking in your head, how does she know? They do know. But when we show we're not listening, when we show that we don't care, we convey so much more. Because you might say in your head, well, I don't really care about homeschooling. What your wife hears is that you don't care about her. And so, you can listen to your wife, come to the convention, even by taking a lead in saying, hey, honey, we haven't been to the convention in a long time, or maybe we've never been to a convention. It always blows me away how many people have never been to a homeschool convention. I mean, this is going to be a great year to be here, because last year was not a great year anywhere in the whole world. And the world's going to be back to normal by then. You can
Right.
count on me. I've said it. So be it. And it's going to be good. We're going to be together. We're going to rub shoulders with people. We're going to be, even if we have to be socially distanced a little bit, but you're going to be so encouraged. And you need to take the lead in that, because I think our wife wants us to take the lead. She wants us to be committed. It's easy to say we're committed. And I heard plenty of dads say, oh yeah, I'm committed to whatever, to homeschooling, to family, but they don't take the lead in any of these things. And I think your wife wants you to. Your wife wants you to say, hey, honey, let's go to the convention, make hotel arrangements or plan it out. I'll be there. Or in other things, you're going to have an opportunity to spend some money at a homeschool convention. Your wife needs you to spend money, because like tools, we're working on my son's house across the street, and he's a tool guy. He likes good tools. I like good tools, because good tools make the job easier,
Yes, they do.
But usually all those tools are lost. And so we're using the junk tools that our kids have. The same thing with homeschooling. And again, at a homeschool convention, you get to be there, and you get to encourage your wife by spending money so she can get lots of good tools to make her job easier. And really that's our job. We as husbands may not be able to do the actual homeschooling, but we have so many other ways to encourage our wife, by listening, by taking the lead, by encouraging. You get an opportunity tomorrow, right after you listen to this, tomorrow, just say to your wife at the, when you get home, say this, honey, thanks for homeschooling our kids. I don't think I could ever do it, but you are amazing. Now, she may not turn into butter, but on the inside, her heart will be drawn towards you, and she'll be encouraged, because she needs that encouragement. It's hard to do this every single day. And oftentimes what we as husbands do, we do the opposite. We discourage. We may not say, well, you're doing a lousy job. We don't say that. But sometimes our wife will say to us, well, I just feel like they're not learning very much. And we kind of, we look alert, and we're like, well, do you think we should have them tested? That doesn't encourage your wife. All it does is reinforce what she already believes. She believes she's failing. Every mom out there thinks she's failing her kids and failing you. Our job is to listen, to take the lead, and to encourage. And really, it's not that hard. In fact, you can do it, even as you're listening. You can text your wife right now and say, I just appreciate all you do. Thank you. Love me. And I'll tell you, she will read that text more than once.
She might even save it and pull it up.
She might. She might.
I remember what he said. I'm doing a good job.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. Well, how about this? I know as a guy, my biggest concern is, what if I fail I face it at my job. I face it, when I'm thinking
Mm-hmm.
about what if I'm being a good enough dad. So what would you say to dads? What about that fear of failure? How do we get over that?
Here's what we do. We embrace it because we're all losers. That's just the truth. And that's comforting to me. I had a dad who wrote me right after Christmas. He said, Todd, because I'm a loser dad. He goes, on Christmas Eve, he said, I decided I got mad at my son and I was yelling and he started crying. He goes, I never hardly yell at my son, but I decided on Christmas Eve to do it, And he goes, I felt like such a creep. He said, I felt like a loser. I felt like I had failed. I had ruined Christmas. And then he said, and then I remembered when you said, Todd, to ask forgiveness and be restored to your son. And he asked forgiveness. And he said, 15 minutes later, we're out playing a game. And, a guy once asked me, what makes a good dad? And I know he was hoping that I would give him, 12 points and all these things, that if you do these things, you'll be a good dad. I don't really like those kind of lists because I don't do very good on them. Here's what I think makes a good dad. It's this: a dad who never gives up.
Mm.
He fails. And do we fail? Yes. We blow the teachable moments. We're mean to the people we love the most. But here's the deal: we don't give up. We go and we ask forgiveness and again, and then we start all over again. We seek God and we seek to love and to lead our children. Again, I don't have any magic formulas for being a dad or for being a mom because it's just hard. Anybody who says otherwise is lying, or they're delusional, or they don't have kids, But what I want to do, and what I hope to do when we come to the conference, I just want to encourage you. I want to remind you that you're not alone. I want to remind you that it is worth it. Because like I said about perspective, I'm seeing that now. My kids, I've got 8 kids and 4 of my kids are married. They 2 of them live right next door. One's over there and one's over there. They all live close. And I'll tell you, I am not a perfect dad. I am far from perfect. I blow it. I had one of my kids in tears today, by my words, but I never gave up. And I will, even that one child, I made it right. But tonight, before he goes to bed, I'll make it right again. I'll put my arm around him and say, I'm so sorry for acting the way I did. I love you so much. And I think that's all our kids need from us, and then because that reinforces everything else we teach. We want our kids to love God. Well, they won't love God if they think dad doesn't like them very much. And so, we got to work at that. We have to enjoy God while we're enjoying our kids.
Absolutely. Well, I know that you have some pretty great classes that'll be at the convention. You have one just for moms. You have one just for dads.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some for the whole family. So we're all looking forward to that. Is there anything else you'd like to share with everybody just to close it out here?
Here's what my only encouragement would be is to be a homeschool convention evangelist. Maybe invite someone to come with you. Husbands, again, the other husbands are thinking the same thing you are. This is not going to be fun, but it will be. You're going to be super encouraged. But can I just put it on you maybe to invite another husband? Say, hey, Bob, I know you guys are homeschooling. Why don't you and your wife come to the convention? We'll do dinner one of the nights. Yeah, I know. I got stuff to do too, but I know our wives would really like us to be there. Or if you're a mom and you've got mom friends, maybe in your co-op, it surprises me. Again, I said that earlier, how many people have never been to a convention. My wife is part of a homeschool convention. She's part of a homeschool co-op of maybe like 15 other moms. I don't think any of them have ever been to a convention before. And it's like they don't even know they're there. Can I just encourage you maybe to let them know? Because it's going to be a great year. It's going to feel like we've been on vacation, except it hadn't been a vacation. And it's going to be so good to be together. And again, to hear in-person stories, to see curriculum in person, to just be together once again.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking forward to gathering together and with other people with like mind who care about their kids and love their families and want to honor God with everything they do. So,
and that isn't that encouraging? I mean, it's just nice to be around a bunch of other people who have the same goals as you do.
Absolutely.
And especially, I would say, if you're brand new to homeschooling, you've never, this is, maybe you were thrust into it, because I keep hearing these stories, all these COVID homeschoolers, they've liked it and they're going to continue. Let me just encourage you to come, because you're going to not believe how big this thing is.
Definitely. We have seen, just in our organization, we've seen a large influx of people looking at homeschooling and asking questions. My wife has sat down personally with several different moms in our house just to try to show them some curriculums and talk them through it and say, you can do this. It's actually a lot easier than you think, and it's a lot more fun, and your child is really going to enjoy this. They may not want to go back to school. I'm looking forward to seeing some new homeschoolers this year and seeing the excitement on the faces and I'm just looking forward to seeing other faces besides the ones in my house.
Right.
All right. Well, again, Todd, thank you so much for your time, and we're looking forward to hearing what you have to say at the convention. Thank you so much for agreeing to be a part of that.
Can't wait to get there.
All right. You have a good night, Todd.
You too.
Bye.